Welcome, everybody. You are in the second episode of Podigal Sons podcast. All right. Well, I don't know who you've been listening to, but we got you in the right place. Yes, you are in the right space to get a little taste of everything that is sweet. Pull up your feet and that's it. That's the intro.
That's great.
It was okay.
No, that was a radio audition. That was a radio audition. That was hard.
You know, Cameron, his radio voice is absolutely amazing.
Man. Yeah, Cameron's
our brother
yes.
Cameron.
He's got a baritone. It was we're gonna get to him later, but on SNL they did a skit of all the black people that were mad that they were losing their jobs.
Yeah,
but it was the Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, and the Allstate guy who was played by Chappelle.
Yeah,
and he said in that skit, my black deep voice soothes white people. It lets them know that they're in good hands, right? So Cameron has a good hands voice.
Oh my God, the best hands.
Yeah.
The best hands.
Yeah.
Shout out Cam. We're gonna get you on here soon. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the Podigal Sons podcast. All right, this is our second episode number 2. Numero doso.
I took French in college, or in high school. In high school and college.
Hold on, there's more though. Shout out to dang, I was about to do the Chinese.
You know Chinese too?
No, the accountant.
The counting.
Counting in Chinese, which I can't do at the moment because it escapes me. But just know that they have numbers too. And I was going to say it's episode 2 in those languages.
This is why you're here to this podcast. Lance just told you, if you didn't know, people in China also have numbers. It's hot off the presses. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Sometimes these takes are just sometimes too hot to handle. You know?
Oven mitts.
Yes.
Needed.
Speaking of takes, our inner circle, we had a lot of feedback for our Podigal Sons on Politics podcast, or right, as you put on Facebook, inaugural podcast. So everyone was, they had questions for Justin. They had questions for me. One of my friends said, I don't know what I would do if one of my childhood friends voted for Trump, which I was like, it's just like, yeah, I mean, this is kind of where we are. But coming off of that wave, and I was kind of upset because it just was not funny at all, and I want this to be a little bit funny. We have officially deemed ourselves a entertainment news podcast. At the beginning of these things, they like to put you in a box. Obviously, we guys know that there's half the best sports podcasts are really comedy podcasts, and like vice versa and things like that. There's all blending, but you got to have a lane and stick to it because you got to get to the top of some charts. So for us, entertainment news is what the Newman brothers are all about.
We are going to climb those charts with takes. Each take will be a spiked hook in the glacier that is entertainment news. Do you understand what I'm saying? We about to climb up there. Y'all look out. And if you on the way, if you like...
Have you seen Free Solo?
Is that the one where his arm got stuck in a...
No, that's 27 hours. 127 hours. That was with James Franco.
I haven't seen that either.
Free Solo, I haven't seen that either. But Free Solo is about a guy who free climbs rocks, like no harness, no anything, and obviously it's 100%. They talk about at the athletic feat, LeBron James misses X amount of free throws. Whenever he's at the line, he really doesn't even clean those up. But for this guy, there is no missing a free throw. Every little hook, because he's hand crawling up. I would like to think of us coming from the mud, literally freestyle climbing this entertainment charts, because we're this is no equipment, even though we had to
that's dangerous,
but we also have quite a bit of equipment. We have new mics, we have a mixer. We're trying to be more professional.
Turn me up, DJ.
The reason I brought up our last podcast and Justin is because election week is officially over.
Yeah, man.
We have announced Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be the next president and vice president. American people have spoken. The president has spoken a lot as well, a lot of negative things, talking very negatively about Americans specifically. Yeah. But the first topic we want to get to was America after Trump.
Okay. And we're getting to America after Trump because this is something we all have to come to terms with now, right? I feel like now is the time to figure out what your role is going to be in the liberation of peoples all across the world, all across the country, all across the gender line, able or disabled. Like, there is a reckoning that people are coming to, and they got to
I
figure out
like
their
that.
role. They got to figure out their role.
No, I like that. Is that where you wanted to take it off top? Is just the people? It's I guess I don't know. It's good to hear because I don't know. It's probably not off to think that we think like that already of like where we are going to be in our legacy and how we're going to be remembered. I think we were 17 when Lance told me. I was 17. Lance was 19, and he told me that he was going to get assassinated. Like, like that's how he was going to go out. And I was like, Lance, well, you have some plans, because if you if you think that somebody's going to want to take you out, brother, you are going to touch some people. And I was like, and that's all. That was how I internalized it. So obviously, we're kind of
It's a role. It's a role that you had to be clear about from jump, and I'm glad that it impacted you in the way that it had, because you also tried to, like, you understood. Okay, I have a role. Like, how do I want to die? How do I want to be taken out?
I mean, I would say we all have our role in like what the thing is that we should be doing and our call to action, like who we are. Like I was talking to a friend of mine, Dwayne Barnell, who is a 40-year-old gentleman who's done a lot of stuff in his life, but he was saying I was in my feelings texting him back and forth, and he was like, he said, nigga, I'm still trying to figure out who I am at 40. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got to have that shit figured out. He said, and quit with the imposter syndrome shit, right? So like that. So I was, kind of leaning on each other to kind of fight through this stuff. But yeah, I feel like realizing what your purpose is pretty early on. Like I honestly just not to take it this left right now, but me being interested in white women, and especially my wife, who we have a child with, I've always thought that like it's going to be my job to blend or to like kind of help and heal the color lines, specifically for white people and black people in America, just because I knew I was black and very proud of being black and thankful for being born black. And I got this white woman that I love, and she's doing the best she can in her part. But I knew that I know what it means on both sides. So with that and us being together for the last like 11 years, it's kind of like I've always kind of been like walking this purpose, like being trying to like, unfortunately, just having to be the guy to be in your face about it, just because like I'm not going to just sit up in my basement and play video games. I'm going to go experience my life. Like I understand.
Well, through living your life, you define that, right? Like in who you fell in love with, or you can't even control who you fall in love with, right? But with who you fall in love with and who you choose to have children with, right?
Right.
That is, you are being the personification of progression, as we would hope. And no, that, I mean, if we want things to meld, right? And come on now, 60, 70 years in the past, that union was not cool. 100 years in the past, I mean, that's getting you hung in. So imagine the people that did it then. So I'm here for all of that, but I'm talking about like in the after Trump America. Speaking of white folks, right? Speaking of your wife who has a black son, right, and is going to have to raise that black son in a stark just contrast of reality, right? And there are things you're going to teach him. There are things that she's going to teach him. He will be better for it, right? He'll kind of know both sides even more. But it's like she has to figure out what she's going to do to make sure that he grows up, or when he's 17, when Carter's 17, 18, oh my goodness, Lord knows where he's.
I was about to say, I don't know if Lance is going to get this take because he's in love with his nephew, rightfully so, and he's like just went to another place.
Yeah, I did go to another place, and I'm not going to give it a take all the way, but there's roles that people have to play. So getting back on track, there are roles that people have to play in after Trump's. Biden is about to get all the pressure. Right.
I think interesting and before we get to Biden, I think one thing that Trump illuminated to everyone is that everyone has a specific walk that they have to try to accomplish, or like, and they have to be on a specific side of history in a very specific way that is like pretty binary. I know I brought that up the last podcast, but like I think everyone is realizing their individual walk. And when Trump was in office, I was like God's working. Like this, he's here for some reason. He's going to do something to illuminate, to help, to like force people to grow. Because as many people that thought they liked him because he reminded them of themselves or who they wanted to be in the fantasy world. He started to take it even left and more left, and then people were just like, okay, let me get off this. And like at the end of the day, I want to say this: hate is a stronger emotion than love. More black people voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris than Barack Obama because more black people was like, we need to get this guy up out of here. Like, I loved Barack. Like we said, Barack Obama got us kind of interested in politics and like interested in possibilities of what possibly could happen in this world. But like, I wasn't trying to be a part of the system. I feel like I got bill collectors coming after me. Like, I don't want to like. I feel like
jury duty.
Like, I just feel like I'm in there. Like I just.
While you're here, you owe that money on that
Oh,
day.
speaking about that, the day before 2020 hit, Michelle and I was in the DMV in Jersey. Like in line, nuts to butts with everybody. It was like the most un-2020 thing you can do on New Year's Eve. I mean, is it New Year's Eve? Yeah, New Year's Eve. Yeah.
31st.
Yeah, so I want to mention that for 2020.
No, I mean, I get that. And that comment about you saying what people, damn, I'm high.
The hate love thing?
Oh, the hate love thing, man. Look here, man. Spread love, man. Look. You say love is true. I will say you're absolutely factual. That happened. People voted out of disdain or dislike or just wanting this person out. Hate, very much so. I'm sure a large section. And again, like I said in the first podcast, Trump's office and them, they did not account for that. Like y'all didn't account for how many people you would piss off.
Oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And maybe if you did, you wasn't really thinking clearly. Like nobody wanted to. He said it. If I lose to this guy, if I lose to this Joe, he's the worst candidate ever in history. Well, I'm gonna have to move out the country. You know, this is what the guy's saying.
Yes.
And it's like, okay. Right. Duh, but you pissed off so many people, and your last minute Ice Cube, Lil Wayne pickups, your last minute pickups did not do well, did not do enough. He did well with the minority vote, right? He did and this is giving conservatives just the pride of Candace Owens just filling their bosom. It's like they are so excited that was that many minorities that voted for a Republican candidate, that voted for Trump. Stop it. All right, so y'all, we got 4 years that Biden's gonna be in the crib. We got 4 years of my man being in the crib.
Maybe two.
He'll be 80 what? 82?
He turned 87 in November. No, not November. In October.
Bless his health. I hope he, I hope he lives to see fine. But like, I don't think he's gonna get that second term. Is what I'm saying. So like, what is it that we want for the next 4 years? Because his 4 years is about to be untangling the knot that Trump like put the world.
Yeah, and that's why I say it's only two, because I think he might untangle and then bounce and let Kamala, take the role as president, and then run and see if she can get a proper term out of it and be on her own ticket.
Oh, they better not do that. Y'all better not do that. I'm not voting for a cop. Like, stop it.
I'm not voting for a cop.
Businessman,
wow.
Politician. All y'all got the worst means or thoughts for us in mind. But
who's us?
The American people.
Yeah, I like that.
Literally.
Are we done with America's Trump?
Yeah.
I don't.
Pick your role. That's the last.
Yeah.
Find your role. Play your role.
Yeah.
Be helpful.
But like I said, no. Maybe it wasn't 87. Maybe it was 78. I think that's what it was. I think Biden just turned 78.
Okay.
And I'm bringing that up specifically because over the weekend, actually not over the weekend, it was November 7th was such a great day for everyone. That was when they officially announced Biden and Kamala. And And it was such a special day. Notre Dame beat Clemson.
That was wild.
Number one
I saw
team
that.
in the country.
Oh, I saw that.
With Trevor Lawrence with COVID protocol on the sideline with his mask on and off. It was, and then rushed the field.
I was thinking about you.
It was a super spreader event.
So let's talk about it.
It was a super spreader event.
What is super spreader, first of all? Because I heard you say it the first time. I was like, it was down there around the kids. So I was like, is that like an adult bookstore?
How do you not know what a super spreader event is? Or
super spreader event.
Yes. For COVID.
Oh, for COVID. Okay.
Yes.
No, see, when you say spread, it still has a different connotation in my mind.
So when the students rushed the field.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's.
Oh.
But I will say, since we're here to report some type of news, all the students at that game were tested for COVID. All the students, X amount of students had tickets. The ones that had positive tests had their tickets revoked.
Petty.
No, it's not petty. It just proves that no one in that building had COVID, but somebody's gonna get it because that was crazy. But anyways, so 11-7 felt like such a huge day, such a big special day. It was like a lucky day. Like 11 and 7 are both lucky numbers. It was like it felt like a lucky day in 2020.
I like it.
And people were celebrating. I mean, people obviously were in the street celebrating Trump getting out of office as well. Like those are all examples of super spreaders, by the way. But anyways. And then
I don't know.
And then let me hit the segue.
Okay.
Then the next day hits November 8th, and Alex Trebek loses his battle with pancreatic cancer at the age of 80. It was like such a nah, bitch, y'all still in 2020. Don't forget.
Man, don't forget.
Don't forget.
Come out. Don't get happy. Don't think that stuff's sweet.
Alex Trebek. Of all people. Now, we're a game show family.
We are.
Lance and the rest of my family had the fortune to be on Family Feud. I'm sure you guys saw them.
I used to answer the Jeopardy questions. Keep going.
So, our stepmother.
We was on Family Feud.
Yes, our stepmother, Mama C, she put me on Jeopardy, quite frankly, when they moved to South Carolina. She was like, I watched Jeopardy and try to get at least 10 questions. And then Michelle and I were down there at that point in time. It was early in college, and then we started doing that and playing that, and that used to be our shit during the quarantine.
Word.
Because every day would be like a sports game, or it would be like some time to actually before COVID, we were found ourselves kind of getting home and getting settled around 7, and then just turning that shit on and just watching Alex and throw shade at X amount of his people. But I will say this on the other side, one of my good friends who remain nameless, but her first name is Michelle. One of her best friends is dating Alex Trebek's son. And Sheesh. I heard from those sources that he was, struggling from alcoholism and was pretty nasty around the house. So I always had a kind of that celebrity that you had a bad experience with, but still love him type of relationship with Alex Trebek. So I was like, but when it happened, I'm still just I haven't tweeted about it, but it's just damn, this was the next. We talked about Sean Connery a little. No, this was on, and it's not Chadwick Boseman level, but it was. It was up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it replaced my third. So Sean Connery, everybody actually, it don't replace my third. There's no white people in my top 3, just to be clear. But we'll do top 5. We'll do top 5.
Just name them and then
because
that would be clear.
But it's Kobe number 1, right? Chadwick number 2.
Oh yeah.
Little Richard. Did you know Little Richard died?
Yes, I know Little Richard died in 2020.
Bruh, what? So that's my top 3. And then right there, Connery, he was 5th, right? He got bumped off for Alex. I don't even like 007. The game I was terrible at. I get the gold gun, and people just be killing me.
That's fair. But it's yeah. No, with it, yeah. But how's if you don't like the game, then how is he in your top 5?
Because man, Sean Connery, man, the fifth place is always reserved for the most recent death.
I mean, that's. I mean, yeah.
Yep.
I don't think that's bad. I was gonna say that we had the same one, so this segment wasn't going to be as fun. But I pulled up celebrity deaths in 2020. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is a big one, but like you said no.
She hired no black interns.
Okay. Naya Rivera, the Glee star. Huh?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, honestly, well, I can't find.
It started getting fuzzy.
Eddie
really
Van Halen.
Yeah, see, that big rock and roll. I'm sure rock and roll people. Sorry about y'all loss, man. It's probably people out there like don't care that Kobe died.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, because it's sports and Kobe touched everyone.
But people, there are people who are not into sports. There are literally people where Ginsburg died, and there's like a law office that just wept, and Kobe died, and they just kept working.
Oh, you know who people put in there? We found like, I don't want to say it, but Kunani's not mentioning the rappers that have passed.
Oh.
Pop Smoke, murdered. And then, like, obviously, this is going to be a big one for a lot of people. Juice WRLD.
The new dude, King
Von, yep.
Dang.
There's some more celebrities that pass this.
Yeah.
I mean, not celebrities. I'm thinking.
I mean,
about.
like. You know.
But anyways, no, top three. I know we're falling off. I think top three for me would definitely be Kobe Bryant. I said Brian. I'm sorry.
You said Brian. I was like Brian.
Regis.
Regis is dead.
Regis
You
died.
took a picture with Regis.
Bro,
You
yes.
like shook his hand and everything.
Bro,
You
Regis died, bro. That was big. I was like, there's definitely a white person in my top three. There's no question. Regis, bro. Oh, how sad, bro. Oh man, they found who killed Jam Master Jay. This
I remember seeing that.
This decade or in 2020. But yeah, no, Kobe Bryant, Chadwick Boseman. There's a different white I wanted to put up there because honestly, like Alex Trebek might take the cake.
Yeah, man.
Like no, like that's.
He gave us knowledge.
That's crazy.
Like he gave us this wisdom.
Alex Trebek.
So
man.
fun fact about Jeopardy. I was watching Junior Jeopardy with Zoe.
Ooh.
Right. I was like, I'm gonna watch this Junior Jeopardy, and I was like so cocky about it. I was like, I'm gonna get all these questions.
Right. Yeah.
I play with the adults. Like I answer the adult questions.
When they play the Tournament of Champions for colleges, Michelle and I feel like geniuses. We clear the board. It's like if to college level students, we're like that our smart ass. But anyways, continue. Junior.
I think it was junior though. I think it was
like
I'm
saying that's gonna be even
9th grade, 10th grade, somewhere in between middle school and high school. And I was like, I'm about to get all of these right, and I did not.
What?
I did not.
Did you fare well at all?
Yeah, I did well enough to have Zoe like, oh, my daddy's smart. Oh, my daddy know a whole bunch of stuff, you know. But other than that, it was very different.
I'm peeking. I'm just looking at this now. I feel like the levels are very high. I'm trying to.
We got a mixer, y'all. So we're like all about getting the sound clear for you all, making sure that y'all can, hear us properly, and that y'all are. And welcome to the Spread Love Studios, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see,
coming live from the Spread Love Studios.
We got our whole little setup. It's a nice little thing. We got lights in here and stuff. So it's
lights in here and stuff.
It's gonna be really classy.
Okay. Now let's segue to the best show on television. The best show on television, the most ratings. Everybody watches it. That's why the people that talk about this get so much money. The NFL. Now, there is a Monday Night Football game on between two very, very bad teams, the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. And it sucks that the Patriots are bad. Now, Cam is the starting quarterback.
Cam should have picked a different team if he wanted sympathy.
You're gonna hold. You're not gonna let Cam flip you on the
Nope.
the stigma that the Patriots hold.
Should have went somewhere else. I do not like the Patriots. I'm avid.
I would say his freeform dreads in that uniform has always looked it's looked off.
It's looked off, right?
It's always looked off.
It's the creative player's default. It's the default. It's the you created. Cam Newton is a creative player, and on his team, the default jersey they gave him was the Patriots, and it just was. And no, he needs to be fly. He needs to like in Carolina.
He's dressed he's dressed to the nines at the beginning of every game.
I mean,
every game he comes looking very spiffy.
Imagine the confidence level of a quarterback if he is dress savvy, right? The jerseys, the things that you want to wear need to also be fashionably made.
And you're saying the Patriots jersey
I'm saying he'll do better.
But the Patriots jersey is not a fashionably made jersey?
No, it's boring. It's default. It's America default.
What's the most exciting jersey in the NFL? I'm already going to jump in, and I don't want to skew your votes, but I think the Seattle Seahawks.
I was about to say the damn Seahawks.
For real?
I was about to say it out loud with my
color,
mouth.
man, that color code, that green is something else, man.
The green with the blue with the, like, and then Marshawn made that.
That's
the players that they have.
I don't want. I feel like because you wanted to just say it too. Now I feel like it's basic, but it may just be.
It is. It's a basic.
No. I'm sorry. My Baltimore Ravens. Their jerseys are. I mean, now the traditional purple ones, but like when they go into black on black, like
murder unis.
Like that.
Black on black is murder unis.
That white black with the gold trim, and it's just that purple accent. Purple. Is a color that represents royalty and loyalty, family, a bond. Like that purple, that the Ravens jerseys are.
Y'all in the comment section, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit us up and let us know what y'all favorite jersey, like who y'all think is the most stylish jersey in the league. We would love to know. Like we'll take a poll or something. We're gonna work on it. We'll
you know what looks good? Brady's been looking good in that pewter. Let's talk about that game specifically.
I am floored by. I used to think Brady was a good quarterback because of his team and his coach. Now you see that Brady's just a good quarterback, and you got him fucked up.
But he was trash yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
This is This is the probably one of the lowest. I mean, they lost to the New Orleans Saints 38-3. Sunday Night Football. It was a very weird, boring game because everyone was expecting it to be a one of fireworks. I mean, it's literally the top two leading touchdown pass career record. Like behind them is like Joe Namath and Joe Montana and Johnny Unitas, who's from Louisville, and Dan Marino. Like these are the people behind them, and it's literally they're neck and neck. Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Drew Brees stayed in front and continued to be in front. And I usually wouldn't even put them in the same category. I always think it's funny when people compare the two because Tom Brady's just such a beast when it comes to rings. But Drew Brees, and they're both, by the way, they're both like the two oldest of those on the people on the list. Like these are like old players. I mean, they weren't in the same draft because Brees was drafted before Brady, but still, it came out of the Big Ten. Drew Brees, a Purdue guy. Brady is a Michigan dude. Like, anyways, it was very, very
all
weird.
All kinds of things that I did not know.
But that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying the thing is, it's very weird to be in 2020 now. Sunday Night Football, huge game, and Brady literally lays an egg like that. He got Gronk back. This is Antonio Brown's first game back.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And it was for the Bucks, and he looked like he was just been on the couch, obviously. But like he's living with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's trying to get his life right by just kind of inundate him with good routines and things like that. Like Tom Brady don't eat tomatoes, so like he's like trying to like cleanse. But anyways, that was a big game.
I didn't eat tomatoes for a long time, but I wonder what his reason is.
Oh, inflammation. Oh. Tomatoes. It's a lot of water. It retains water and inflammation. Well, you said you watched games. What games did you watch last night or yesterday?
I watched the damn Steelers-Dallas game. Oh my goodness. So if you all would like to get a door into this privy thing about our family, our family is literally a sea of Steelers, and then like a blip of Dallas, small blip of Dallas, and the rest is just category. It's just random. It's completely random.
Do you know the history of this why there's so many Steelers fans around the country?
No.
Steelers, they were actually like manufacturers of rail workings, like roadways and different buildings and things like that, and they were the best at it. So they kind of spread, like they sent all the people that were in Pittsburgh doing those things early on in America's history, whatever, after obviously football games were played, and they went out and settled in all these different places around the country. So like Steelers fans are literally everywhere because they're like started there, and then I could have messed up a lot of that.
What does that got to do with our family? Ain't nobody from Pittsburgh.
But I'm saying there's somebody's from Louisville, or maybe even Uncle Schmitty in North Carolina, like because it is Ducky and all them that are huge Steelers fans.
Yeah,
I tried to tell Willie this because Willie got drafted to the Steelers the year after Ben Roethlisberger was his sophomore season, and the bus Jerome Bettis won in the Super Bowl in Detroit.
Wow.
05.
Wow.
Willie got drafted to the Steelers that next year and still ended up winning the Super Bowl with them. Remember that crazy Arizona Cardinals game?
Mm-hmm.
Willie was on that team and
wow.
the Steelers team that beat them. But anyway, so like obviously being with Willie, and Willie like actually like he doesn't like Ravens fans or doesn't like Raven, like he doesn't like that. That's a real rivalry.
Oh.
So like yeah. But anyways, continue. The Steelers
Cowboys game. The Steelers Cowboys game was quite amazing. First of all, how dare you give any type of hope to Dallas Cowboy fans during this season? Like, how dare you tease them with some type of progression after so much degression in the past season and more? Really, it's been a decline.
Well, I would say Dallas was probably one of the favorites to do something, but then Dak Prescott's injury.
Yeah, man. Dang, man. And see, again, very much so a fan of Dak. If he goes somewhere else, then
He probably will, because he did not. I felt bad for him when the injury happened because he did not take a contract that he thought was beneath him. So he franchise tagged, so it was like only like a certain amount of millions that he was making, but he was going to make his money this year. Mm-hmm. He was going to prove his worth through his play this year, and then get to the bag next year if he was either with the Dallas Cowboys or anybody else.
He already proved himself.
But he couldn't get the dollar amount that he wanted. He wanted to be in like the 40 million range, and they were only offering him like 28 million.
He should have went somewhere else. Like bump at y'all
starting quarterback.
Success.
But anyways, yes.
Is contingent on me and my homie behind me running this ball.
But he was but he didn't make that much money because he was the 3rd round draft pick because he had to go in because Tony Romo got hurt. That's how Dak's whole career started. But I'm trying to that Gilbert.
Yeah, so y'all just played. But Steelers, let me talk to y'all real quick, because Steelers fans shouldn't have no space to be happy or confident or boast or anything like that either, because y'all were absolutely piss poor. Like, y'all turned up in the fourth quarter. Like, that's when y'all started to look like actual Steelers. Now, I don't know if y'all thought it was about to be a cakewalk. I don't know if y'all thought homeboy, little white boy for Dallas, you thought he wasn't gonna run on y'all, like he wasn't gonna get his first downs, and he like
Gary Gilbert.
Yeah, Gilbert. That whole what's the Notre Dame mighty man, little small.
Oh, Jalen Smith.
No. I'm sorry.
Fighting Irish.
No. What's his name? He's Rudy. That Rudy syndrome, right? The quarterbacks get that Rudy in them, and then like you gotta bada bing, bada boom. You know what I mean? Like you gotta lock that down, make him smash his confidence. Like you are not. There ain't no Rudy going on, bro. You ain't getting no stop running. Hit you a couple times. You feel me? Sit down.
Who are you talking about specifically?
The defensive line for Pittsburgh, and also because my man.
Oh, Tony Pollard.
Yeah, like bro.
Number 20. Are you talking about Ezekiel Elliott? I
don't know names, but
Are you talking about the running backs for whose team?
Defensive lineman is what I said.
I know, but you said Steelers. You talking about T.J. Watt?
Not his running back, his defensive line.
I know. I said T.J. Watt is the defensive lineman for the Steelers.
Not him, but the other guy on the other side that looked like Vez.
Oh, Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
97.
Bro's. I've seen him take over games. Like I see him.
He's a vet, bro. I wonder how long Cam.
I've seen him really do really nice things. And I don't know what was happening, but like, Anyway,
Came
and y'all, you know, I lose every game of Madden I've ever played. Right?
Oh, he's only 31. He's
I
from
quit
Pittsburgh.
football at a very young age. Like I don't care. I'm not here for the physical combativeness of football. I play soccer, right? Like you want a shoulder, you want me, I tap you probably, slide and kick you. Like I'm all for that.
You told on yourself for that when you said the fourth half. You said they didn't turn up until the fourth half.
That's an easy slip to have quarters.
Not when it comes to football. Slip. Not when it comes to football.
I did not tell myself. I just told myself, and it was honest and.
Okay, provoking. Well, I thank you for that segue because I wouldn't. That was. Was that a CBS game? I thought it was like the game of the day. But anyways, that was a good one. So our homie Corey Peters, he faced off against the Miami Dolphins. Corey Peters from Louisville, Kentucky, went to Central High School. The homie got traded a couple years back.
More importantly, went to the Governor Scholar Program with me. Yes. That's where I met him.
Yes, and that's how
the smart people school they send you to in high school.
It was a summer program.
We are all geniuses.
It was a summer program for the smart people. Yes.
Summer program.
That was in state.
It was in. Yes.
Okay.
Governors Scholars Program.
Yes. So, shouts out to Corey, very smart gentleman. He went to the University of Kentucky, played there, was very mad at me when I didn't go there. We could have started 1 technique, 3 technique. But anyway, so he was for the Falcons, and now he's been with the Cardinals for a couple years. Got contract extended last season, one of the 4 captains on the team. Dope. So, they played against the Miami Dolphins.
Dope.
Very, very close game. The Cardinals are like one of the best teams. They were a joke a couple years ago, and now Kyler Murray has made them. And I don't believe in little quarterbacks. Yeah. I'm just like a heightist when it comes to the quarterback position.
Shouldn't be.
I don't know. Now
you shouldn't be.
When I base that take, the NFL isn't the spread out, throw outside the pocket game that it is now. But still, Lamar Jackson's height is more comfortable than Tua's height or Kyler Murray's height. So I thought this game was the battle of the short quarterbacks, fast quarterbacks, fresh out of high school or college. Tua got a win. It was 34 over 31. Miami Dolphins, Joy Taylor's favorite team. Jason Taylor, obviously her brother, played there for a very long time.
Yeah. Jason Taylor was one of your favorite. Was one of your favorite guys.
Reason why we're 99. Dude's name. Reason why we're 99. And honestly, and I have not complained to Joy enough that I'm her brother and my I haven't met him, and he's like he was like one of my heroes.
That's like some
and
real.
And then through serendipitously, me and his little sister,
that's petty.
Homies, and then
that's
had a podcast together. I mean, she started me. She started me in my career. So so shouts out to Joy Taylor. So anyways, we keep moving on. The Bills beat the Seahawks. Josh Allen is very, very good. He's the quarterback there. The Bills are like actually a contender. And now that the Patriots are so bad, the Bills might end up winning the AFC East. Moving along, the Lions lost again to the Vikings. Patrick Mahomes actually had a very close game against Teddy Bridgewater's Carolina Panthers.
I know you're a Ravens fan. I've always been a default Detroit fan.
Yeah.
Can I switch teams? Like when can I switch teams? When can Detroit fans? Because I'm sorry, Detroit. I used to really love the Pistons. I used to really love the Lions.
I realized
Red Wings.
I realized that I was always a Lakers fan because that Pistons team made me a Pistons fan because we was in Detroit during that run, the 2005 championship, when there was a team, Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, and Chauncey Billups, Big Shot Billups, and then off the bench was Antonio McDyess or Lindsey Hunter. Like it was Darko Milicic was fresh and he did not play. He just had frosted tips, looking like a boy band member on the sideline. But they took care of a dysfunctional Lakers team, and Shaq's my favorite basketball player ever. I think he's the greatest basketball player ever. So it's funny you bring that up because I still try to root for the Pistons. Like in the back of my head, but then I'm like, ugh. Like I feel nasty. Like I feel better continuing to make fun of them, like for what they do.
That's petty.
You know what I mean? Like I do feel better because like they're just. I mean, it's just like Matt Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a bad hire. I think all these Belichick coaching line hires are rusty at best. There's no one that's really proven themselves. Actually, ironically enough, the black dude in Miami, Brian Flores, he came from Patriots and he's turning their team around. So shouts out to him. But anyways, it's easier for me to shit on Detroit. Because sports teams because
sports teams
because MLB even so baseball is such a big sport, right? Mm-hmm. I was following the year that I was like, because we've been to Comerica Park more than any other baseball stadium easily, right? Like I was talking to Jordan, my godbrother, who's working for the Dodgers, and they just won the World Series, and I was texting him, telling him I was like, Dodger Stadium.
Jordan works for the Dodgers?
Yeah, Jordan worked for the Dodgers. But anyways, so I told him, yeah, that's really dope. I told him that that's the only stadium I've been in more than the Comerica Park Stadium, right? So I was like following baseball when they got Prince Fielder, and they got Prince Fielder from the Brewers, Milwaukee Brewers, and they got swept in the World Series that year that I was following them, and I was like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
I'll take the pinstripes, I'll take the tiger, I'll rock the hats, but like, no, thank you. Yeah. No, thank you, Detroit sports teams. Yeah. No, thank you. Ravens beat the Colts. That was, I mean, it was, it happened. Right. So yeah, so that's the greatest show on earth.
Why do you say it's the best show on television?
It gets the best ratings. It is the most. And I mean, you got to think about the contracts that come from it. Like based on the people who are providing content for the show, it would be like if there was a movie star. It would be like if Marvel's only came on, like the Marvel superhero movies only came on X amount of months during the year and only on Sunday, and it was just playing all day. Because like that's how much money these players are getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Like the proof is in the pudding. Yeah, like the pay.
Comparison, I'll say it's a zoo.
The proof is in the paychecks. Yeah, you said it's a zoo.
Yeah, where like they're exploiting the exotic nature of the content of the zoo, and then selling.
Are you saying football players are monkeying around out there?
No, that would be racist, and I would never say that. I would say that they're getting paid peanuts. I would say they're elephants.
They know they're getting. It's not peanuts.
Ancient creatures.
Because life is
things that people cannot do, and they're getting. It is peanuts. It is peanuts. Because if it wasn't peanuts, Brandon, out of all the times we've had the NFL, wouldn't we see significantly more black millionaires? Right? Is everybody who have made their millions and their money from the NFL, did they not invest? Like, what is it? What has kept the black constituent of football players that are no longer in the league, right? Other than like financial misjudgment. I
think, I was going to say, you have to understand the NFL is fucked up. Because if you talk about how many, let's call $30 million salary or whatever. It's hard to do it like this, but whatever their annual salary is, they get paid that in 12 paychecks only, or not, no, whatever long the football season is. So every Tuesday, there's millions of dollars get broke up into those little paychecks. So for a lot of people, that's very hard to manage that amount of money all at once because it feels like it's an ever flowing stream.
And I guess there's
but the last time you get not only live high, is take care of your family.
Right.
So like, and you know how now you can know how little $1 million is, like how less of amount that is.
Yeah.
Especially for people.
But even more reason why I say there is peanuts that they're getting paid, right? Like, like that's why.
I know I talked myself into, but I'm defending the system is fucked up. Okay. Any NFL player will probably tell you that too. But like, you know what I'm saying, they get a chance to play a game that they love.
Right. They get to do something they love.
Take care of their, and also just
and find a purpose, because like all these cats, they have jobs in, you know, their sports is a job after a job. Like, and this was one of those pipelines that if you get in, then you're in, and as long as you don't Delonte West yourself, you pretty good. Shit, even if you Delonte West yourself, you seem to be good. Mark Cuban found dude. You didn't see this? Mark Cuban picked him up at a gas station, put him back on his feet, like counseling job, moved him in, like all types of stuff. I haven't had an update yet, Cuban. But
no, that's good. I was, because what I was thinking of was like the third instance of the same Delonte West report, but I think it was after that Mark Cuban, because I just got tired of not tired, but it's a sad storyline. And keep making fun of Delonte West, who I respect for dating LeBron's mom.
No, you respect? Look, he's only in the situation he's in because he crossed that line. Like, if he did not cross that line, he would be on the Lakers right now, winning the ship on the bench with LeBron, with J.R. Smith, and everybody else.
Dante Waiters and
come chill on the bench, and I got us, bro. Yeah, I got us. You fucked my mama.
That's wild.
What?
That's wild. And it was like, that was wild.
Let
me segue, and I wanted to put a timer on for these conversations, not for one that people know about, but for us in general. But since we didn't for the rest of the topics,
could you imagine going to an interview and they say I'm Delonte West? They'd be like, bro, you the one that fucked LeBron's mom, man. Yeah, but I'm trying to get past that. I'm just trying to get the job. No, man, we can't hire you, bro. That's untrustworthy as fuck. You shouldn't even put in the application.
Untrustworthy. Oh my gosh. I am setting a clock so we can talk about Dave Chappelle on SNL.
Okay.
He hosted SNL. I don't even remember this because it felt so long ago, but he hosted SNL.
He hosted it recently.
He did do it, but I mean, 2016, after Trump got elected.
Yeah.
He gave a monologue then, at that point in time, when America seemed to need whatever they got at that point in time. And that's why I thought it was great that he brought up the fact that there is a whole other side of the country, 67 million people, who are feeling bad right now, the way we were feeling bad when he got elected. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. That aside, Dave Chappelle has yet to let us down as much as he has let down so many people that think that they lean on him for his creation. I did not say that, but you did, and I'm glad you did, because that's what I was alluding to. Because he is showing us how to survive out here. Mm-hmm. He's being a beacon of light. He's walking a walk that's very specific and letting us know as individuals, as creators, as people who want to see us get into some type of lane that he has been in and find success in that lane, how to maneuver. And there's certain things that you just can't stand for. No. And that was that time in Africa that white people love to make fun of him for, and that I think others just kind of understand and get. Because it's easy to, it makes sense to get ghost when you're being manipulated and whatever he felt that made him make that decision. So, back to Dave Chappelle, SNL.
Hey, and I want to speak to that real quick. Not to that. I'm coming back to that. That's so right. But about we can empathize with the 67 million that voted for Trump because we were them in 2016. I saw somebody's tweet that said, right now is everybody who voted for Biden needs to reach out to somebody they know voted for Trump and let them know that they feel their pain and they should talk and find one issue that they agree on. He said that's somebody's responsibility. Lamont Hill, he retweeted and said, "Shit." And I retweeted him. That is my sentiment on that sentiment. So. Like I called Justin to laugh. I didn't.
You called Justin to laugh.
I called Justin to laugh.
I'm glad
when Biden won.
Speaking about that, because the night of the election. No, but the night of the election, Justin did hit us both on some like, y'all see this? Y'all see what's happening? When it was like, yeah, the mail-in votes haven't been. Yeah, All the
Look
Republican
here.
numbers.
I had been clearing my throat, drinking tea with like honey, and just doing throat exercises. Pause, no pause. Stop calling stuff gay. It's not gay, all right? So I was doing throat exercises so that I could clearly deliver a laugh to my conservative homies' ear. You know what I mean? But it wasn't long. It was a little. It was short. It wasn't obnoxious or anything like that. But Dave Chappelle, right? Also not being obnoxious. I think a lot of reviews he had were bad, or some reviews that reviewed the SNL.
He took some chances. Like he brought up the fact that one of the lead scientists was a female next to Trump as he was freestyling what solutions. He was like, "You want me to put sunlight directly into my body?" He's like, and she said, he said the little white lady was next to her, just nodding along, like, "Oh, this might work." And he was like, I looked and I said, "That's why they get paid half." So a joke about women in the workplace, which is difficult. And he stopped. He was like, "Lauren, I thought we were at a comedy club." And Michelle watched and she was like, I mean, it was a funny joke, but yeah, like it's almost, and speaking of him being a beacon of light, it's a reminder for us to like continue to push the boundaries and like even the things that we know are going to be like going to disappoint somebody else, you got to make them else feel better by laughing. One of the best things he said was, think about the position I'm in. I can only tell the truth if there's a punchline behind it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of where we're at. Like,
and I think that's the art of
sugar
comedy.
And sweet, the medicine, sugar with the medicine type shit.
That's the true art of comedy too. Like it gives you that feeling of like, should I be offended or shouldn't I be offended? And in that thought, you clarify for yourself what you cool with and what you not cool with, right?
What you gonna
so
live right.
Next time you're gonna listen to that joke and be okay, or you're gonna be like, oh my god. But y'all, Dave Chappelle, he is the most human. He is the most human celebrity. He is the most human celebrity that you could find right now. Like big name, A-list celebrity that is the most human, like fallible to the point where he's infallible. Like we understand that you're human. We understand you're going to fail. Right. You're going to have these misgivings. And
like we've seen you with the proverbial booger on your nose and out in public, but when it's time for him to go, it's just so on point. And I actually love that he took the time to talk about the fact that Chappelle show's on Netflix, and a lot of people are probably so happy about it. But he said, I didn't get paid for none of that. He said, I ain't getting paid for none of that.
He didn't selfishly call for a boycott, right? He didn't selfishly say, y'all shouldn't watch those things, even though I believe that you shouldn't watch it. I felt like that was him saying, hey, y'all, I'm not getting paid for these things, so if you know me or if you like me, probably don't watch them or consume them there. Nope. You know what I mean? And you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I haven't watched that. I've been watching the Boondocks. But look,
Boondocks is great, and it's coming back.
Yeah, it's going, but money going in. Anyway, that if you like Dave Chappelle, watch his Letterman. His Letterman interview.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, just c'est magnifique. Like,
he was the only comedian. I don't know if he was around at that point in time, because when I worked at the Late Show with David Letterman as a page the last year of the show's existence, and everyone came through. Everyone had a moment in time, and everyone had their last sit down with Dave. Ironically enough, when Mom came up to New York for the first time, and Michelle was waiting for her ticket, I had like X amount of tickets I could give. And Michelle was waiting for my mom to come. When she booked the ticket, Will Ferrell was supposed to be the guest that Monday, right? And I found out when she got here, or when she was on the way, and I kept a secret, that Obama was going to be her day. So, and she screamed in the Newark airport when we told her, and it was just a really, really cool moment to like my mom, and she sat
wow,
right in a perfect position, like got seated before anyone else was in the theater, and it was for Obama.
I would love to have been there to get Mom's reaction on that.
Man, she fell down the subway steps a little later on that night.
Does that correlate with each other?
No, it's just she's clumsy.
Oh, okay. She is clumsy.
I know when you say I love to get her reaction. I don't know if
Obama looked at her and she was just love drunk the whole fucking time. Like she left the studio.
It was like man, prayer works. But anyway, for Dave, I was saying I just brought that up to say Dave Chappelle he didn't do a last round with Letterman, I guess, because he probably, I don't know if he ever He's just a different comedian. He probably didn't even like do the late night scene to push things that way.
I mean, isn't that
Now
around the
doing
time he took his trip to Africa?
I mean, I don't think he was around. I think you at that point in time you knew he was back in Ohio. Like you knew you had heard like those pictures were circulating around with him big as hell in tank tops and stuff like that. Like it was at that point in time.
Did you see the people say a part of the joke where he was like the guy in the grocery store is on TV? It's like no, the guy on TV is in the grocery store.
Bro, that took me so long to get. I watched it live. I was like up late that night, and I was looking. I was just like.
Right, because it did come on late.
And I was like, oh, because it was after the Notre Dame Clemson game, which we covered. I think we can do a lot more. Give me 2 more minutes on Dave Chappelle. What do you think about?
What's the timer say?
Well, we're going on 9 minutes on the beat, and I wanted to
for fucking Dave Chappelle
for the Dave Chappelle topic, but I wanted to close eventually. Michelle said Pizza Hut's on its way, and she was worried about if she was gonna take Carter for a nap. I got life to live, but I wanted to
pizza.
Yeah,
they're so nice.
I know our wives. Y'all know how big of a deal that is for Lance to have to say that. But I think we're gonna come back
talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah,
sure enough.
Yes.
Okay, and on that day when we talk about monogamy versus polyamory versus polyandry versus all the anuries and enemies, boy, I tell you, but.
And enemies. And enemas. Have you had one?
I have not had anything done to my butt.
But you've gotten...
I've never had anything done. I've had it.
Why you about to repeat it like that? I'm just saying you had some.
All right, good, nigga. All right.
You had something done.
I had a checkup one time. That's uncomfortable.
I don't even know. It's too vague. All right, T's and P's.
Tell the world
T's and P's. No, I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't.
Hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids. No.
Comment with your hemorrhoid questions. We're gonna get so deep in here.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
a dirty topic.
Okay, well, like I said, we'll get back to Dave Chappelle because we love him in real life, so we're gonna
real life.
So we're gonna have any excuse to talk about him. I should. Oh yeah, I like that. There's a flip on Toby's Miss Badu. Told me I'm dope.
Actually, it's the second verse. He says Miss Badu in the first
that is true.
hook, and then the second
I was
hook
thinking.
Dave Chappelle.
I'm honestly, can I tell you why I thought that? Jaguar Wright is a backup singer who's accused like Common and some other people for sexual molestation stuff. Like she was around the scene like back in the day during Biggie and Pac days. So she was on a podcast that she was talking about how Erykah Badu has a stranglehold on neo-soul scene in Texas. How like she's not fostering new talent, and she's like kind of holding people down. And she just went on this rant about Erykah Badu. It was like very passionate. And then somebody was like, well, how do you like Toby and them in Houston? Oh, he's doing his thing. But he had that song where he demigod Erykah Badu and that bitch. And I was I can't. I haven't heard the song recently enough, and that was more in my mind.
It's
so
a
I was
great
thinking,
song. And I don't know who this person is.
She's mad.
She's very mad.
She's mad.
And I'm a Baduite, so I don't.
No, but that's true. I mean, we don't. Can you imagine if Dallas, Texas produced her in whatever year she came out? There had to have been some more. Mm-hmm. And I mean,
that's weak. No,
Drake fosters young talent. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about the people who put on people. The fact that she hasn't put anybody on.
She put on Jill Scott. She put on Angie Stone.
And how Jill Scott and Erykah Badu's relationship right now?
Good. It's good.
You do know that?
Yes, they did a versus. Didn't they?
I'm sure they had all kinds of shade. I don't know if that's the case.
It's not the case, Brandon. They had a versus. They're good friends. Look at me
like speculating on Texas neo soul.
Right.
Okay, T's and P's, thoughts and prayers. So we're gonna close out the podcast with thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers to the Notre Dame students that were sharing COVID stuff at the super spreader event. That seems like kind of like tongue in cheek because the next one is real. thoughts and prayers to my father-in-law, Michelle's dad. He is in the hospital right now, getting his heart looked at, and my thoughts and prayers are actually to him, and hope that he's doing well and is going to just be fine and fight through stuff. But
Thoughts and prayers, Mr.
thoughts
Karen.
and prayers. Thoughts and prayers to all the people that continue to try to educate via Zoom during this time period, and the parents that have to deal with children. Lance, you have 4. So thoughts and prayers to them. Who you want to tease and peas up?
Put me on Front Street. No, I do have 4 children. So what? No. I thought the thoughts and prayers were a comedy bit. So
it's all those things are all.
Because I want Michelle's daddy to be okay. Though. That's some real thoughts and prayers. Like I'm not.
Oh, good.
I will follow that with some.
But I think it's all. It's just all a mix. It's all a mix.
Okay. Well, thoughts and prayers to the people who were giving thoughts and prayers to the ballot outside the ballot counting stations. I doubt that your blessing will come, and you should probably reevaluate your faith or what side of your faith you're on if God blesses one and not the other. Thoughts and prayers to the people dying in the city. Y'all, Louisville, Kentucky, we are a city, right? And we have close to, if not more than 1 million people. But there are violence happening in certain areas, and we know that these areas, the violence happens because they have been redlined, because they have been kind of neglected over the decades. So people are dying in these neighborhoods, and I know a lot of my friends, a lot of the people I follow are really upset. I'm not going to get into RIPs, but, thoughts and prayers to everybody out there in Louisville that lost somebody to COVID or gun violence, either one. And then final thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers to this manifestation that me and my brother are taking on. Thoughts and prayers to this whole teamwork thing.
This is a good segue because I was going to specifically thoughts and prayers our fans, because right now there are friends and family members who are very excited for us to be collaborating.
Oh, you want to call them fans though? Friends and family. FNFs.
Thank you.
Thank you to our FNFs, man.
T's and P's to our FNFs. We'll see y'all next week.
Oh, no. This track is going to play now. Hold on, wait. The track's going to play. You can play it on the thing. You can play it in second.
Yeah, it's
in
like
editing.
Yes.
Play.
But you want to play it out loud, though.
It's not on this phone.